Okay, this is Mitch for Indigenous Insights. Welcome to the show. We have a guest in the studio with us. We're speaking with Jane Kahkonen. She's the air quality specialist at KBIC NRD. She's been there for 2 years, and today she joins us in the studio. Welcome, Jane.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you very much for being here today.
Yeah, thanks.
So we're going to be, like I told you when you first walked in, we're going to try a little bit different format here today because we got a lot of you from KBIC NRD coming in, and I don't think one segment is enough to cover what you guys do. Because, I mean, if your job is anything like the others that we've had in here, it's kind of complicated, kind of complex. So again, you are the air quality specialist at KBIC NRD. And before we really dig into that, though, can you tell us a little bit about yourself first?
Sure. I've been in the area here now for 13 years. I come from the Detroit area, and I'm a graduate of the Keweenaw Bay Ojibwa Community College. I have an environmental science degree there, and I kind of started working at NRD doing internships.
Okay.
And I started working in the greenhouse planting plants. And then I helped assist with the stream temperature monitoring between the college and NRD. And then I fell into this air quality position.
Okay, so what brought you to the UP then?
Oh, I just love it up here.
You just like it? So before that, would you vacation up here? Got family up here?
I'm snowmobiling up here all the time. Yeah.
Snowmobiling. Okay, so you come up here for the winter. Some people are running away from it from the winter.
Right on.
All right, so internship is what originally brought you to KBIC NRD.
It is, yeah.
At that time, was that something that you were interested in, or you thought, okay, this might be a cool internship? Or, I mean, were you seeking it out?
Well, I always cared about the environment. And especially coming up here, I wanted to make sure that maybe I could help protect the area and keep it a good place to live, you know, for the tribe and the community.
Okay, and before you kind of ventured into this area, that field, what else? What other kind of work history do you have?
I have an extensive experience in working with indoor plants down in the Detroit area, where we do plants for hospitals and restaurants and homes and stuff. And then after that, I went into the healthcare field, and that has to play in what my job is here now, because air quality obviously is protecting respiratory health. So, it's kind of a good fit how this all worked out.
A good little trail you got going, huh?
Exactly.
All right, so like I said, a little bit different format here today. What we're going to do now is send it to music, and then when we come back, we'll dig a little deeper. This is Mitch and Jane for Indigenous Insights. Here we are again. This is Mitch for Indigenous Insights. We're in the studio with Jane. How's it going, Jane?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. So, This is your first time in the studio, right?
Yes, it is.
I haven't interviewed you before. Have I interviewed you before?
No, you haven't. I've seen you around at powwows here in the community, but no, I've not been to the studio.
Well, very, very good. Welcome.
Thank you.
So you are the air quality specialist at KBIC NRD.
Yes.
Let's dig a little bit into that.
Okay. When I first started working for NRD, doing the air quality work, I was focusing on indoor home assessments.
Okay.
I work with tribal housing, and I would take other residents.
So you go in the house and you test their air?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, but how do you do that? Like with a machine?
Well, I'll go in and I'll walk through, and I'll make sure that that there is proper ventilation.
Okay.
That fans are working correctly. That there isn't mold or moisture problems within the house that's going to cause respiratory issues.
So a lot of that a lot of it is visual.
It is.
Okay.
It is. And then I also use some assessment tools where I can infrared the walls and see if there's any moisture behind those. I also test for the humidity in the home, and I'll provide humidity monitors that I leave at the house for the tenants to use. And that helps them, keep an eye on what's happening.
What are some of the things that people should keep an eye out for?
Well, ventilation is number one. You can't have your house all closed up. You have to allow it to air out. Even in the wintertime, you think that's counterintuitive that you want cold air coming in your house, but you want to keep your house fresh.
Okay. Yeah. That's something that, sometimes I feel like this house feels stuffy. Let's open these windows up.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's what you started out doing. Is that what you continue to do now? Or?
I do. I still do that. However, the program's growing. We also we do energy assessments now, and we're doing that through the tribe at tribal facilities. I am a member of the CARE Committee, which stands for the Committee on Alternative and Renewable Energy, and that also is air quality because poor energy use stands for making a lot of emissions that affect the air quality.
I gotcha.
Yep. And so I'm going around and I'm working with a company that does these assessments, and we're changing out light bulbs and making recommendations to fix energy sucking appliances.
Yeah.
And so that's helping a lot. Yeah.
I mean, that's one of those things where everybody kind of has to contribute overall, pretty much, right?
Yes, and I'll be putting an article in the tribal newspaper here shortly regarding what you can do to save on energy consumption.
Cool, because that's the thing, bringing awareness and giving tips out to people so they can make those little changes and stuff.
Exactly.
Is the air you work for the air quality? Is it a whole department?
Well, it's a one-man show.
Oh, okay. So you run the whole thing. So what else do you got? What else do you do there?
Well, we have some exciting news that happened in October of last year.
Okay.
This has been going in the works now for a few years, but the tribe, the water quality department, they went through the EPA, and they requested to be treated as a state. And that's what we're really excited about right now. So 2 years ago, we put the final application through, and then we put an addendum on for the air quality as well as the water quality. And I was approved in October 2019, and we now have treatment as a state for air quality.
So for somebody else, not me, who might be confused, because I'm not confused at all, could you kind of explain what that means exactly?
Absolutely. We are being recognized now through the EPA as having the same manner as a state, treatment as a state of Michigan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we are more opposed to go and comment on air quality permits. Those are permits to install and renewal operating permits on facilities here within 50 miles. And we have earlier notification of these permits that are happening, so we can respond and have more time to do research.
So a few weeks ago, we had Roger Lebin on the show, and he was talking about how he wanted Mahnomen recognized by the state because then they would get more attention, I guess. Is that kind of the same thing that's happening?
Well, it is. It is. We're kind of on the same level now, and so we are able to make some decisions here on the reservation that are more conducive to our lifeways than it is for the average people here in the state. Yeah.
That's pretty amazing. I mean, that's the work that's got to be done all across Native America pretty much, and you guys are getting it done.
Yes.
Very cool.
Yeah. And we're the first tribe in Michigan to be recognized as such.
Heck yeah. All right, let's take another break, send it to music. We'll be back with Jane. All right, we're back in the studio. This is Mitch along with Jane. You are the air quality specialist at KBIC NRD. I'm getting better at saying that. You mentioned that you were working with other organizations pretty frequently, right?
Yes, we are.
Who else? Who do you collaborate with?
Well, just recently we signed into agreement with Superior Watershed Partnership, and they have a community environmental monitoring program that involves the Eagle Mine. And over the summer last year, the Water Quality Department started doing monitoring of wells and wetlands adjacent to the mine at the mill and at the Eagle Mine.
Yep.
And so starting this spring, I am going to assist with the air quality monitoring out there.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's really interesting to do.
So KBIC NRD is already doing some work out there?
Yes, we are.
And can you give us any of the, results? What are the reports coming back from
They have a website. It's under the Superior Watershed Partnership website, and you can look for the KEMP program, CEMP, and they have all the data online.
Okay, very cool.
Yep.
Just before would you say it's a kind of a thumbs up, thumbs down, happy medium type of thing? Everything.
Well, this is what that's all about. Is we want to make sure that the mine is operating responsibly.
Okay.
And provide oversight, and we'll be able to see things, real time and see what problems might happen.
Sounds
so
like
far, so good though.
Sounds like we'll have to have another interview after that then.
Absolutely.
And that's really the thing too, is to try to get you guys to come back and visit us, because you guys got so much going on that giving us updates of what's happening and promoting what's coming up.
Thanks, yeah.
All right, so what other organizations? Anybody else?
Yes. Right now I am assisting the state of Michigan doing local permit inspections, which is kind of cool. They've invited me to go out locally here, and I'll kind of shadow him and look at what he's looking at, and I'm able to see the inside of these buildings that are creating these emissions, and it's a learning curve for me right now. But it's really nice that they're asking us and that they are treating us similarly to them.
Yeah, it's really good to hear that's going on like that.
Mm-hmm. We also have really good partnership with Michigan Tech University. We do a lot of work with them. They help us with a lot of research, and we provide them with, bodies to go out and
Yep.
do the work. Yep. I also do a lot of work with the National Tribal Air Association. They're a national air program, and they provide a lot of training and conferences, and it's really important to learn what other tribes are doing throughout the country for air quality.
With that being said, what sort of trainings have you attended, or have you traveled out to learn?
Oh, well,
Often?
the treatment as a state kept me busy. I've been on the road like once a month going to trainings in order to make sure that I knew all the things that I needed to do for the treatment as a state status. And everything.
What kind of trainings did you go to?
Let's see here. A lot of it was on permitting, grant writing. Some of it was for indoor air, ambient air monitoring, and it's progressive. There's, it goes in levels.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm continuing on, but I don't have to do it at the pace that I was doing it.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
My girlfriend Christine, she goes to a lot of trainings now through her job, and I've kind of wet with them because we have the baby and whatnot. It's really cool to go to those different trainings because you have all these people that are dedicated sort of a single cause a little bit working together.
Yeah, for sure. It's very a supportive atmosphere.
Yeah.
You can learn a lot.
So is there anything else you have to add to that? Any other groups or collaborations and stuff? Because it's cool to hear that.
Yeah, no, that's plenty of it. EPA, we work with them all the time, and we're building relationships with them. And all of us out at NRD, we're very dedicated to building our programs. And it's really cool.
And it shows. I mean, it shows. You guys are all, I don't think not one of you just goes to punch in and punch out. I mean, you all seem to really, really enjoy your job.
We love our jobs there. Yeah, it's good to see results.
All right, so we're going to send it back to music. This is Indigenous Insights. This is Indigenous Insights. My name is Mitch. We're in the studio with
Jane Kahkonen.
And I just got a couple more little questions here for you just to kind of get more information out there. Fun little questions. What's your favorite part of your job?
It's going out into the community and working with people.
Working with the people.
Educating, yeah, and solving their problems that they have. It really puts things to rest that they're worried about, and we can mitigate a lot of issues within the home for them.
All right, and what would surprise people about your job?
I think what would surprise them is how much that I do in the time that I have, and I do it by myself. Yeah. Hopefully, I'll be able to get a technician pretty soon to help me out. But yeah, that'll come eventually.
So is your position even really a day-to-day thing, or is it constantly just different? You're always kind of different meetings, different people, different phone calls?
Yes, yeah. And that's what keeps it interesting.
Yeah, same thing kind of here. I mean, it's a little bit routine in the studio, but it's always speaking to someone new.
Yep, for sure.
So more information. If anybody's looking for more information on what it is that you do on your department or the KBICNRD, where can they go?
They can go to our Facebook page. We have a lot of our announcements there, and we also have little tidbits. You can also call me directly. My phone number is 906-524-8700. You can get a hold of me through there. And you could also call out to the other natural resources building, the hatchery, and that's 524-5757 for any other information you'd want.
Very good. So you guys are a well-oiled ship. I mean, you guys are really good. I know you probably have something to promote.
Oh, yes, I do. And that would be the second annual Tribal Water Day. Last year was a big hit, and we're hoping to have a bigger event this year with more people from the national arena from the EPA is going to be there. That's on March 13th, 2020, and it's from 9 o'clock till 4 o'clock, and all public is welcome. And I also wanted to throw in one thing here that natural resources, we're all about upholding the first treaty, which is it's the It's our responsibility for taking care of those without a voice and taking care of all the beings of creation and all the living things. That's what this is all about.
Thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you.